Okay, aloha all. Think I'm gonna call this video "The Roots of Evil," maybe. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you a story. Story you're all gonna recognize, or most of you, right away. But I'm just gonna tell this story from a different perspective, and see what you know. Just to show you, I think it says somewhere in there that the devil turns everything upside down. So here we go. So this is a story of two brothers, fraternal twins, and they seem to have been destined to conflict since they were in the womb. The first son was born, the firstborn son, rather, grew into a hardworking young man, outdoorsman, hunter, provider, field worker, farmer. Father had, I guess, what would you call it? Like a ranch or a farm, and they had livestock. So he did all this hard work outside. And he was the father's favorite son. He was the apple of his father's eye, as they say. The younger son, not so much. He was, I guess, what you call today a mama's boy. He stayed in with his mother and did work around the house, in the kitchen, whatever, cooking. And of course, his mother loved him very much. But the second son had a problem. He coveted his older brother's position and his older brother's favor that the father gave him. So this tormented the younger son. So he schemed and planned to steal from his older brother and his father. So one day, the older brother returns home from a hard day of work in the field, hunting or whatever he's doing, taking care of the animals. And he was hungry. And he went to the younger brother who, you know, worked in the kitchen, making the food every day. And he asked him, for some food. And at this point, the younger brother, he has this kind of moment where he's like, an opportunity. So he tells the older brother, he's like, I'll give you the food if you sell me your birthright. Okay? And so, of course, the older brother being hungry, being out all day, whatever. I mean, these boys are probably teenagers, right? So, of course, he's going to say, yeah, I need to eat now. Give me the food, whatever. So, anyway, so the deal was done, I guess you could say. The younger brother kind of took advantage of the hungry older brother, and the older brother ate, and life went on for a period of time. Don't really know how much longer. But later in life, the the father had grown old, and his days were numbered. He was old, he was blind, he couldn't really do anything anymore, but he still loved the eldest brother. So as he knows, as the father kind of realizes, okay, I've only got a little bit of time left. I want a good meal before I die. So he calls the older brother. He says, go out, give me some game so I can have a good meal before I die. So the eldest brother went out into the field, into wherever, the countryside, looking for some fresh game for his father to make his, final meal, possibly. So the mother heard this conversation between the father and the elder brother. And the mother, quickly kind of went to the younger brother and said, hey, I just heard this. We're going to go do something about it. And so they conspired, the mother and the younger brother, to defraud her husband and the boy's father. And that's what they did. So the mother tells the second son to go take from our livestock on the farm so they can prepare this meal for the father. And so they did that. They went out, and of course, it's easy to go out the back door and harvest whatever, a sheep or a lamb or whatever they ate, and then to go out hunting for game. So they were able to do this rather quickly, and the older brother was still out hunting. And so they made this meal, this final meal for the father, and that was that. The next phase of the thing was, well, okay, how do we fool the father? So the younger son was worried that he can't go in there and give this food to his father like he was his older brother, because of course he wasn't his older brother. So the mother said, well, we can disguise you. So they basically disguised him so he would feel like the older brother. And so the boy went into the father to deliver the food, the meal, and the father's like, are you my son? And the younger son says, yes, I'm your firstborn son. So he lied right there to his father. The father asked again, how do you find game and return so quickly? And the younger son lied again and said, God has provided it for you. The father said, come near me that I can touch you. And the second son approached him, and the father reached out and felt the disguise that the mother had arranged for him, and could smell that he was wearing the clothes of the other brother. So he smelled like an outdoorsman. And the father asked again, are you really my firstborn son? And the second son lied again and said, yes, I'm your firstborn son. And so the father gave his blessing that was reserved for his favorite son to his second son, and the deception and theft was complete. So, of course, you know who I'm talking about by now. I'm talking about Esau and Jacob. And it's just to show you that this is how twisted things are, where, the worst of sins, covetousness, lying, deception, envy, all these things are celebrated and rewarded in this world. I mean, even to this day, it's celebrated. I mean, if you can steal from your own father and from your own brother, that this is good. And I hope we can all agree that it's not good. I mean, people are literally, what's it? 2 Corinthians chapter 3, 14, 15, somewhere around there, it says that the Torah, right, actually literally puts you under a spell. And this is part of the spell. This is, I mean, this is deep. I mean, I could go into this deeper on this spell thing, but I don't want to muddy the waters. The point is that people are under a spell. They believe this story the way they've been told to believe it, but it's not the way it seems. It's just not. We live in, so I don't know. I hope you understand. I'm kind of lame at doing this, and I'm not a big talker, but I got to do this thing, and I hope you get it. I hope you understand that perspective means a lot, and really looking at the facts compared to listening to what you're sold is important. It's and most people they're going to go ahead and keep believing what they've always been told, and who's the good guy and who's the bad guy and whatever. So, but that's on them. Anyway, that's the world we live in. Well, but it doesn't have to be in us. Anyway, aloha, and until the next time. Oh, long video. Sorry.